photographing squirrels? You're fired.
Chief, the planetarium party.
Oh, right. You're unfired. I need you. Come here.
You don't have any friends. Nobody likes you. Not listening. Not listening.
I shot him 6 times. I shot him in the heart. This guy, this man, he's not human.
You think you could steal from us and just walk away?
Yeah. Welcome back to a very special episode of Get a Load of This Movie, a franchise movie podcast where we talk about movies that are a part of a franchise, but not today, Cole. I know you wanted to, but we are not doing that today. We're not talking about a franchise. We're actually talking about a lot of franchises. Today is the 3rd annual Loadies.
And we've renamed it again.
We've renamed it again. That's right. The Load Taker Awards. We're doing the Loadies this episode. That means we are covering every single movie that we covered over the past year and saying what our favorite actors, actresses, best movie, best screenplay. We're going to go through all of them, saying what our favorite music was. And then we're going to go through a summary of our 2025s and say what our favorite movies were, who our favorite actors were, and what performances they gave, and just kind of give a summary of the year that was. This is going to be a very different episode. We don't have a game. Cole is going to be summarizing every single movie we watch, so that's fun. You can look forward to that. And yeah, let's see what we have first. I mean, I know, Zach, you wanted to explain how voting works and how the process was, but I actually had a very special announcement that I wanted to give the audience before we go on, because this is the end of season 3. Isn't that right? And we're getting into season 4. That means a new intro. That means, that's all. Sorry. That means the intro from season 1 is back. That means that's what that means.
We might cycle back.
That means, yeah, that's okay. We could do that. That means new franchises and new episodes coming later this year. Maybe even a new schedule. We'll still figure that out. But I bet that stays the same. But I have a special announcement. As we were actually just talking about, I recently got engaged, right, guys?
Yeah.
That's right, Corey.
Yay. We were just talking about that. We were just talking about where the wedding's going to be and everything. But there is a step that comes before getting married, but after getting engaged. And I need people to support me. And I can't think of 2 people that have supported me more over the past 3 years. Will both of you be groomsmen in my wedding in 2027?
Not if Cole's doing it. No.
I'm legitimately, dude, you're making me get emotional. Oh my God. Of course.
Well, don't get that emotional. We have another hour and a half of this thing to get through. Then we can't.
Yeah, yes, I will do that, Corey. It would be my absolute
nice.
honor.
That's one for,
of course.
Another
one for one.
This, of course I will. Couldn't think this will be Zach and I's 3rd wedding we've been in together.
Way to make it about yourself. Thank you both. I appreciate that. That's going to be great.
Yeah.
So catch us there. We'll live stream it. It'll be great.
Live recording
Cole
at the
will be hosting. Live recording. We're gonna do an episode. It's gonna be fun. But thank you. I'm looking forward to it.
Man.
Couldn't imagine without you guys there. And without further ado, Zach, would you like to explain how the voting took place for the Loadies?
So we have 10 categories. They're pretty much ones that you would get at the regular Academy Awards. We kind of combined production design and the cinematography into just a general favorite look of a film, because we're simple minds like that. We don't know all those big words, So we combined that one.
Not me.
But we have We have 10 categories here. We have best screenplay, best special effects, best cinematography / production design, best original score. That's music. I remember that was a confusing bit for Corey the first year we did this. Best supporting actress.
Screenplay was the confusing one too.
Okay.
I couldn't understand.
Best
I had to look up the
supporting
difference
actor,
this time too.
Best director, best actor, best actress, best picture. So that's our 10 categories. Okay. And what I did is I made a list of all the eligible films that we covered in our quote unquote season 3. And I made a Google form for Cole and Corey and I to fill out. And for each category, it's kind of a random number, but I just needed, 5 wasn't enough. But I said, give me your top 7 in each category, so I think next year we might even move it to 8. Who knows? But I think five just definitely wouldn't have been enough. It would have been some fluky answers in there, some ties. And I would not have really known how to break a tie. And that's just not fun. So for all of those categories, we all gave our top 7. I calculated it off, first place would get 7 points, seventh place would get 1 point, and, all the in between. Obviously, you can figure it out. And luckily for all the winners in all the categories, we did not have a single tie for the winners. There were like some ties for seconds, ties for thirds, whatever. But
no ties for winners. Interesting.
Right. So that I didn't have to think too hard about how I would break such a tie. I would probably just would have gone with like whatever one I had higher. And there because I'm judge, jury, and executioner. Oh, and then another really quick thing is for actors, as in previous years, when I put them in there for their best actor or best actress, spots, I only just put their name and then the entire franchise they were in. Cause like, we don't want a scenario where like this is like, let's say we were doing Terminator and we didn't cover Terminator this year. So this is an example. I think Arnold is the best actor in the first Terminator. Corey thinks Arnold is his best actor, but he thinks it's his best actor for Terminator 2. But since they were two different movies, both of them getting votes would not have been enough to put Arnold to win at all. So that just, it's not a perfect system.
And
but
I,
this
of
is the way
course,
that we can
picked
fix
Michael Biehn for the first Terminator, which threw off the votings entirely.
Terminator, a franchise we have not covered yet after 3 years. Wouldn't be surprised if 2026 is the year for that one. So
I could see us doing what we did Aliens and all the rest.
Franchise. Yeah, that's exactly how I was thinking we would have to play that. Yeah. So
I don't think I've seen past Judgment Day.
You don't need to.
I will tell you this, and this is a tease for when we talk about those episodes. I think the whole idea of the buzzer of stopping a franchise is based upon how hard I am slamming that buzzer after Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Cut it off right there. Don't need any more. Okay.
We haven't used the buzzer in a while.
So also for clarity for the audience, I will of course give a really quick rundown of all the eligible movies. So, just a little refresher of all movies we talked about this year. Okay. Are we ready? So Lord of the Rings.
Yes, sir.
Lord of the Rings trilogy, Fellowship, Two Towers, Return of the King. The Captain America series, so First Avenger, Winter Soldier, Civil War, Brave New World, LOL. Fun fact, Brave New World did not receive a single vote in any category.
I almost voted Anthony Mackie for something because I felt so bad.
Yeah, they're going to be a really sad table watching, like at the awards ceremony, watching the Loadies. They're going to be really sad.
If we were voting for like Falcon in the Winter Soldier, I think that's a completely different like conversation too. And it's so sad that him jumping from that to Brave New World just...
I think to wrap that up, I think we can all agree Anthony Mackie is not the issue with that movie. All right, moving on. Moneyball. And then that was our one-off baseball episode with the, to inaugurate the new season when we were so, I wouldn't even say full of hope. I think we kind of knew what was going to happen. But the Cardinals didn't do well.
I was kind of hopeful.
I mean, there's always an inherent bit of hope, but deep down, if you really look within yourself, I think we know.
Let me tell you right now, this year to kick off baseball season, we should probably watch Sandlot because that's probably more accurate the kind of baseball that we're going to be watching.
Bad News Bears. All right. Or like just the first half of Major League before they get good in the second half. All right.
There you go.
Mission Impossible, Mission Impossible 2, Mission Impossible 3, Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, Mission Impossible Fallout, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, Mission Impossible The Final Reckoning. We covered all of those.
You could have just said the Mission Impossible franchise.
Oh my!
But he didn't, and that was a creative choice.
I could have done. I had no idea, Cole. Thank you. Ready Player One, Jurassic Park, Jaws. That was our sexy Spielberg summer. Back to the Future Part 2, Back to the Future Part 3, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3, The Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness. We were on a bit of a Raimi kick there. Spoiler alert, end of the year, my Letterboxd most watched director was Sam Raimi. When they gave me like your year wrap.
Did you watch all of his movies this year?
I did. That's why that was an easy win for him. 16.
Mine was James Cameron.
Well, that makes sense.
Does it?
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Knives Out, Avatar, Glass Onion, Way of Water, Wake Up Dead Man, and then Fire and Ash. So yeah, we covered a good amount of movies this year. I think rattling off those Mission Impossibles every week in the summer kind of that added some bulk to our season load there.
That was a lot.
It was, but yeah, by the end, even though we were getting kind of burnt out by Final Reckoning, I think. So but I wouldn't change it for the world. All right.
One thing you can say about those movies, they aren't very formulaic. Like it always feels like the plot switches up on itself each and every movie, which I could appreciate.
I think by the end we kind of knew how these movies operated. By the end we got to Final Reckoning. It was like, yeah, we've seen this before. All right, really quick fun with numbers before we get into the awards. Just funny little tidbits here. Nothing too deep. There was not one category, not a single one of the 10, where we all had the same number one. So that is interesting. Yeah, I thought so too. This is that's fun with numbers. 5 categories, we all had different number ones, if that makes sense. Like there were categories where 2 of us had the same number one, but there was not one where we all had the same number one. And there were 5 categories where all 3 of us had different number ones. You tracking that?
Can you say that one more time?
Yes. So there was
I just
not
don't think
a
I was
single,
tracking. I heard you clearly.
There was not a single category where we all had the same.
Yes.
There were 5 categories where 2 of us had the same. And there was one edgy edgelord dissenter. Okay. So
that makes sense.
Given that I asked you guys to rank 1 to 7, that means if a actor or something or a movie for whatever category got first in all 3, that would be 21 points. So the maximum anyone could get is 21 points. Okay. The highest winner for one of the categories was 20 points. So there was one extremely definitive winner. And you know what? Maybe I'll have you guess which category that might be. And I won't say if you're right or not, but you guys have a guess on which category you think had the most decisive winner.
I'm going to assume Best Actress with Zoe Saldana for Avatar.
That's a great guess. I don't know if I was going to say the same, but hearing that's going to be my guess as well.
Okay. Interesting. All right. The lowest winner was 13 points. 2 different categories had a 13-point winner of a possible 21. So
let me pull up the questions.
Yeah, I've got the form pulled up too.
Yeah, let me pull up the form.
Corey, we can edit our responses and just destroy this whole thing.
No, they're in the spreadsheet now. They're in the spreadsheet now. Yeah.
Demon hours can't kick in. Damn.
Not counting now. What I did, I did.
I have another guess for the one that got the most. I'm going to guess best screenplay got the most.
Interesting.
Do
Okay.
you want me to give who my guess is? Or
I'm sure it'll become quite clear because we are going to start with best screenplay. Okay. So don't you worry. Your pretty. I think
that one got the most.
Don't you worry your pretty little mind. People throw rocks at things that shine. All right. So I also kept. Oh, you like that? That's Taylor Swift. All right. So without further ado, Corey, we are going to do the best screenplay award first right now. So our top 5 nominees. Are you ready? Here we go.
I am.
Jaws.
I'm kind of nervous. I don't know why.
I'm nervous. You're the prettiest boy at the ball. Don't you worry. We have Jaws, Knives Out, Back to the Future, Jurassic Park, Moneyball. Those are the 5 nominees for best screenplay of the movies we covered this year. And any surprises there? Any?
No, I don't think so. I think that all makes sense.
You think they're all good?
That kind of fits.
You think those are all good movies?
No, I mean that kind of follows what I voted. So that's why I was kind of surprised. That's why I also think this one probably had the highest one or highest total win. But I honestly probably do think it was Cole's choice. But I had to give another answer. It was this
close, Corey. The winner of best screenplay is Back to the Future. Bob Gale and Robert Zemeckis. That's taking home the Loadie for best screenplay for 2025.
Round of applause. Yep. You guys can expect your trophy in the mail. I cannot.
Are they both still alive?
I cannot describe what the trophy looks like because of the FCC, but you can expect it in the mail.
The FCC won't let me be. All right. Moving on. We should just rattle through these. But obviously, Back to the Future, like I said, best script, like one of the best scripts I've ever read.
Is that the
I had a
highest
whole
one?
bit.
Should we all go through our like
Oh
number
yeah.
one?
Yeah. Oh heavens!
I think that
Good heavens! I almost effed that up. All right, Corey, you go first, buddy. What were your top 7 scripts?
Oh, you want me to go through a top 7? Okay.
Yeah.
My top was Back to the Future, Knives Out, Evil Dead, Jurassic Park, Fallout, Moneyball, and The Winter Soldier.
Corey, now I do want to, and this is not like holding an accountable thing. So I know I wrote that on the summary that we're going to hold each other accountable each round. I love that you put it there because I'm a big fan of it. But when I think of Evil Dead, it's not like, wow, what a script, like that's. But so what was it about the Evil Dead script that made you think that made you want to put it, give it its flowers?
My thinking behind the Evil Dead, and now looking back, I was also not feeling great. So Winter Soldier going on there, I was like, oh wait, I did put that up there. So I thought you were going to hold me accountable on
That's
that
fine.
one. But I was like,
It's fine. I'm not going to hold anyone accountable for their 7th spot, really.
No, but Evil Dead, I will say, I thought what we talked about when we covered the movie is that it's very tight. I don't think there's much loose ends, and I think everything that it does very well in terms of the physical acting. Looking back, I can't remember too much about the dialogue, and I can't remember if I liked it a lot.
This looks like your old girlfriend.
I don't remember. I don't remember if it was too special, but doing a lot with a little, I think was very impressive. And I think that was the main the main path of thinking that I put it up high, because I remember a lot of points throughout the movie where I was legitimately scared and where I was legitimately like, what is going to happen next? And I think when you have a low budget and there's not these grabby, oh, look at the flash bits, which I mean, it had a fair amount of those. I mean, not a ton as opposed to movies that you see nowadays, but I think the script and the overall writing of it has to be pretty grabbing and pretty, I guess entertaining. I'm trying to think of a different word than entertaining. Enticing. I like that one. I don't know if that's what I was thinking of, but I'll take it. And so that's why I gave it the flowers that I did.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. Cole, you want to read off your best screenplay? Top 7.
Yeah. So I started, I went Moneyball, Jaws, Back to the Future, Spider-Man 2, Knives Out, Army of Darkness, and then finally Lord of the Rings, Fellowship.
Yep. All right.
I need to be held accountable for?
No, I mean, well, I think those are all
Jaws.
I think listen to our Army of Darkness episode. Obviously, Cole and I were very high on Army of Darkness, so that's the one. That's definitely the black sheep of the group that Cole just listed just by status alone. But I don't have any issue with it. I totally get it.
Yeah, I just couldn't bring myself to do Mission Impossible because when I watch those films, movies. I don't think of the script. I think of Tommy Tom doing something amazing.
But Fallout's really, really good.
Yeah. Fallout is really, really good. But when I think of Fallout, I don't think of the script. I think of Henry Cavill reloading his arms.
Now, with my top 7 here, all 7 of my picks here were listed by you guys in at least one of your guys's. So I didn't have any strays. You guys were all over the ones that I had. Back to the Future, Knives Out, Jaws, Jurassic Park, Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, Spider-Man 2, Moneyball. That was my 1 through 7. So I don't have to be held accountable for anything, is what I'm saying there.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
I also, I was surprised Jurassic Park didn't get, or what was it? Did it play? It placed,
it was
right?
in the nominees. It was in the top 5.
Okay.
That came in with 8 points. Back to the Future, though, was just a dominant 19 points. So... Oh yeah. I'll list podium. It was Back to the Future with 19, Knives Out 15, Jaws 11. That was the 1, 2, 3.
Jaws 11. Did Back to the Future have the highest score? Was I right? No.
I think.
Cole, I think you got it. I think you got it right.
I think I'm surprised Moneyball didn't podium, but looking back on the episode. You guys just had such a critique of the real life.
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
Not being portrayed.
They have an MVP that is not. He won the MVP, and he is not mentioned once in the film.
Good Cinema.
Miguel Tejada.
They take some shortcuts there, but it is they make baseball nerd stuff exciting, which
Zach was pretty against the
voted.
nerds. He wanted jacked Brad Pitt to
There was
just
a
go
lot
out there.
of general baseball discussion that I enjoy on that episode. Yeah. All right. We go. Let's keep it pushing because we're just one category in, and that was the warm up round. I didn't want to start with a big one with screenplay. Now we're gonna get through some other stuff. Best special effects. So our 5 that placed here, we have Avatar. We have Avatar: Way of Water. We have Avatar: Fire and Ash. And then 2 other movies, Evil Dead and Jurassic Park. So what? Any surprises in this? This is definitely the only category where there was all 3 of a franchise were nominees.
Well, I mean, with that franchise, it's kind of hard because that's kind of like the draw to that movie, So it's like I kind of get that. I was trying to avoid voting for all 3. Like, I can give my if you want me to, but after we say the winner. This was. Or do you want me to do
this
mine
one.
now?
This is why this one's early. This was not much of a. Not that interesting of a round given the Avatar of it all. Yeah. All right. The winner for best special effects with a 17-point total.
Not as many as Back to the Future.
The first Avatar.
Ooh, that's right.
Yep. Yeah, that's right.
Cole, I would love to hear your rankings since you were very surprised that it got 17 points.
Well, I did Fire and Ash, Way of Water, Avatar.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah. And then Ready Player One, Jurassic Park, Final Reckoning. I actually really liked, and Fallout. But when I think of like Avatar, I just think of them getting better. So I would have also associated like your guys with that. That's not what like I'm saying it's bad, because I think the visual effects are phenomenal and they still hold up, but the attention to detail just gets higher as we've gone on. Like, we see lines and wrinkles in these characters' skin at this point as they have aged with us. So
I think that's fair. I think I was looking at it in terms of special effects at the time it came out. Because like if we look at it now, of course, like, I don't know, Back to the Future, for example. If we look at the special effects now, it's like, okay, maybe not great, but like when you look at it in the context of the time. And so I think Avatar, I voted Avatar as my number 1 since we're giving rankings because of that. And I think over time, Way of Water definitely took a step up, especially for the time, but like Fire and Ash kind of stayed around the same. It definitely took a step up, but it wasn't like 7
there, guy.
Yeah. Avatar at number 1, Jurassic Park at number 2. Ooh. Look at the way the dinosaurs look, which is great.
The way the dinosaurs.
Spider-Man 2. Evil Dead.
Love me some Spider-Man.
Fallout, Back to the Future, and then Way of Water.
Yep. I had Avatar: Way of Water at number 1. I think the reason I put that at number 1 is because the water aspect of it is the most impressive to me. And that's the one that introduced that and ushered that in and, features it prominently. So Avatar: Way of Water is number 1, Avatar: Fire and Ash number 2, Avatar the original at my number 3, then the Jurassic Park original, the Evil Dead, Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers. I put that one there because I think that the immersiveness into that world and building out these worlds and these armies, I think that's the perfect mix of it there. I think Return of the King, we kind of talked about, I think there's too many daylight battles of Return of the King where like you can kind of see the strings a bit on, what they're doing. It still holds up, but you can see it a bit more there with what they're doing. I think Two Towers, Helm's Deep battle, everything that they pull off there, absolutely incredible. The nighttime fight, that stuff's all great. And obviously all the with special effects we can kind of include makeup into that too and prosthetics and just the orc designs, the goblins of it all, just all of that world immersion in Lord of the Rings, great. And then Evil Dead 2 was my last pick. I just have a lot of fun with all the practical stuff they do with that one, obviously. So that was my 1 through 7. But It was a clean. Well, this one's a little harder because we did have a tie for bronze, so I'll include both there. But Avatar won with 17 points. Way of Water had 14, and then Avatar, Fire and Ash, and Jurassic Park both tied with 13 points for the bronze. So
a worthy podium.
A worthy podium. A very good podium. Yeah. It's just two Navis standing up there, and then a T-Rex on the little small podium next to him with a little medal with his little arms, and he's mad about it. All right. Okay. Is that a T-Rex sound that you just tried to make there cool?
No, that's the Navi hiss.
Oh, I was like, oh.
Corey made a little. Arr.
All right. Kind of a similar category here. We're wrapping up the technical stuff here with this one. Best cinematography / production design. It's kind of like, you know, the twin sister of the one we just talked about. It's all about what we're looking at here, right? So with this one, this was one of the ones that we had the lowest winner. Is in like this winner had 13 points. So we were pretty all over the place with this one. That wasn't extremely definitive with this one. And I would actually say this was my most shocking win. I think this one was the one I was like, oh, okay. You know, so like that didn't see it coming, but I can see it. I can see why.
That's what happened.
That's what happened. So our nominees: Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, Back to the Future, Back to the Future Part 2.
Oh yeah.
Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, Knives Out.
Oh wait. Interesting.
So, and the winner is at 13 points. Back to the Future Part 2. Yeah. So that's our best cinematography / production design. And I'm going to go ahead and assume the production design of that is doing a lot of heavy lifting there. I know we talked about it on the episode, just the way they build out the futuristic version of that town. That's a lot of fun. I was a big fan of the way, and then, you know, they bounce around to like the different realities. I remember loving the casino aspect when we got to that like kind of dystopian look at the town. We're bouncing all over the place, and I was a big fan of it. And then we're
Zach
back in time.
loved Donald Trump's America.
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah. So
Zach, what was your top 7?
Okay, sure. I'll go first. My top 7 was Back to the Future, Back to the Future Part 2, Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, Knives Out, Spider-Man 2, Jurassic Park, first Avatar. So that was my 1 through 7 there. Cool.
Okay. I went Back to the Future Part 2. As Zach said, futuristic Hill Valley and dystopian Hill Valley did a lot of the heavy lifting. When I think about that movie, I think of like this set that they just had to redress to make it look more and more detailed, and I absolutely love that. And then my 2 through 4, I went Fellowship of the Ring, Two Towers, and Return of the King. And I did that strictly because I feel like throughout the trilogy, Peter Jackson went from practical to special, like effects as they went on. You definitely see it a lot in The Hobbit. Mm-hmm. And then 5, Knives Out. Yeah. 6, Army of Darkness. I love like when people do.
Watch the sec. Love.
Love it. I love when people do old timey like medieval stuff in their own way, which Sam Raimi did. And then Back to the Future Part 3 was my 7. Really thinking about it now, that's honestly a tie between that and the first Avenger, because I love what they do with 1940s Europe, 1940s America.
You loved what they were doing in 1940s Europe. You loved it.
Fuck. You said it. Had to give me back. No, I just love the look of how they did the MCU back then. So that's kind of a tie, but I'm giving it to Back to the Future Part 3 because I love the Old West.
Yep. Corey.
Love.
And they kind of changed the town in Back to the Future Part 3 too.
I like that we see them like putting up the plans for the clock tower in the third one, don't we?
Yeah. Well, they're built. They got like the scaffolding and everything up, but it's like, I don't know. Part of the reason I liked Back to the Future Part 2 and like that set design is because it was the exact same thing, just like dressed different.
Yeah.
It was like, it looked like the exact same blueprint. And with the Old West, it was kind of a completely different built town besides the clock tower. Anyway, my top 7, Avatar Fire and Ash, Avatar Way of Water, Ghost Protocol. I don't know. Return of the King.
What?
Return of the King, Jurassic Park, Back to the Future, and then Spider-Man.
Yeah. We both had we had different Spider-Mans in there, Corey, but we both had a Raimi Spider-Man. And for me, in terms of like, okay, yeah, like it does feel like, I've never been in New York, but it doesn't feel like we're on like, soundstage New York. It feels like they're shooting and stuff in New York,
it doesn't.
Even when I'm sure some of it wasn't. But like that, I think the production design of it works in that part. But I think for the Spider-Man specifically, it's the cinematography angle with just the way that Raimi shoots action scenes and just transitions between stuff. It's just that's why that got, Spider-Man 2 got a vote from me there. Just the way that, he shoots all that stuff. Really kinetic.
I agree.
Yeah. All right. And then, it was Back to the Future Part 2 was our winner. Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring was our silver. And the original Back to the Future was our bronze. Okay. So that's our podium. We are now on to the music. Can you hear the music? Can you hear the music, Robert? All right. That was an Oppenheimer reference. So for our nominees here, looks like I only made 4 nominees because I had my podium and they were very clearly, there wasn't going to be, I just kind of stopped doing the math once it was clear nothing was coming close to the podium that I had. So the 4 nominees here, we have Jurassic Park. Mm-hmm. That was a John Williams score. We have Jaws. That was another John Williams score. We have Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring. What's that guy's name again, Cole? All right.
I can't remember.
Howard Shore. It was
prep.
Howard Shore.
Gotta do show prep.
It was Howard Shore. I can't do everything around here, guys. Okay. And then we have.
I was saying it to Cole. It to Cole. He's got to know these things.
And then we have do your job. Do your job. All right. We have Spider-Man, Danny Elfman's Spider-Man theme here. That's it. That's our clear top 4, and nothing was really getting close to.
I'm sorry. What was the 4th one? Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man. All right. Okay. And so the winner, best original score with 18 points.
I'm gonna assume Jaws.
This was one that we all had different top 3. The winner is Danny Elfman's Spider-Man score. Now, Cole,
this was my number 1.
Cole, this was your number 1. So why don't you go ahead and rattle off your top 7?
Okay. I mean, obviously, Spider-Man. I think we talked about it for a good 15 minutes alone on the episode, how important that score was to the film and making it. Yeah. The bongos. I'm just going to leave it at the bongos and move on. And then Jaws and Jurassic Park. And then Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. I love that score just because that's probably the most fun out of all of them. And I associate that with Brad Bird and his kind of cartoonish sensibility when he makes a live action movie, because that was his first live action movie. Then I did Fellowship of the Ring at my number 5. The Shire theme, always iconic. James Horner's Avatar, R.I.P. And then finally Captain America, the First Avenger. When I think of that triumphant theme that they play, the dun 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 dun,
Just makes you want to go back to 40s Europe.
That makes me want to run through a wall. I think we talked about it on the episode. Steve Rogers is the epitome of the guy who does the right thing, and that makes me think of doing the right thing.
Do the right thing.
Not do the right thing.
Right.
Doing the right thing.
Corey, you were confused on what a score means. Do you know what it means now? And what were your top 7?
I think I know what it means now, but I guess you guys were going to tell me after I read my top 7.
No, it's reasonable.
Here's what I put. I put Jurassic Park at my number 1, Jaws at number 2, Spider-Man at number 3, Fellowship of the Ring begrudgingly at number 4,
Yeah, you know
Mission Impossible at number 5, Moneyball at 6, and then First Avenger at
I do
7.
picture the Moneyball. The money. Everyone likes to use the Moneyball music like for dramatic reels now on Instagram.
But that's not
I know.
like that was a song.
Yeah, I don't
that was
even think
written
it's like the score.
outside of the movie.
Yeah.
That's not like a song they wrote.
So
for
Corey
the
almost
movie.
knows what a score is.
And then here we get into what is the like
Score is
Never
original,
mind.
best original score. It says
Can't-
original in the
can't-
category. Okay.
can a movie not have an original score at all?
Yeah, some
can they
Tarantino
do
movies.
movies?
Some Tarantino movies don't have any original music.
What he didn't really use a score till
Hateful
what
Eight.
Bastards?
Hateful Eight has a score. No, Bastards is still just all borrowed music. It's Hateful Eight. Hateful Eight is the one that has an original score.
Ennio Morricone wrote original score pieces for Django, I believe, and then he was like, "I'm never going to work with this guy again because Tarantino's always using."
I think that was Hateful
scores.
Eight. I think that was Hateful Eight though, because he wrote stuff for Hateful Eight, and then he didn't like that Apple Blossom by the White Stripes was in the Hateful Eight. Really quick for me for my best original score.
Yes.
Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring. Big fan of all that stuff. Like Cole said, Shire music. Yep. Then the Spider-Man, Jurassic Park, Jaws, Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. 'Cause I think they had some good pieces there. And then Back to the Future. I do enjoy the Back to the Future score. So that's my
Back to the Future one's good.
That's my 1 through 7. So it was.
See, but they have Louie and the Blowfish, Huey and the Blowfish, right? But that's not original.
Hootie and the
Hootie and the
Blowfish?
Blowfish.
That's what I said.
I heard.
I'm questioning that. That's really
you
what
mean
you.
Huey Lewis in the News.
Everyone laugh at Corey. Everyone point and laugh.
Don't need money.
That's Huey Lewis.
Corey, let's just go ahead and wrap this category. Corey's had a rough best original score section, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap this part up.
This is my least favorite one. Can we not do
No.
cinematography next year?
Not do
This is
cinematography.
score.
I know.
Okay.
I didn't like the cinematography one either.
You
not my
saying Ghost
shining moment.
Protocol and then immediately going, I don't know, as like a defensive was a big tell there. So Spider-Man, Danny Elfman had 18 points.
goes like in the pool.
Yeah. I got what? No, that's Rogue Nation. Spider-Man. God, we got to get out of this segment for you. Holy hell. Spider-Man, Danny Elfman was the gold. Jurassic
good.
Park had 17 points, so really close there, right? 1 point behind with the silver, and then 1 point behind Jurassic Park was Jaws with 16. John Williams is on both sides of the podium, and he's looking up like the two clones in Jurassic Park of John Hammond, and they're looking up at Danny Elfman. They're really bitter and jealous. All right, we're moving on to let's get a couple actor categories in here, and then we'll break it up with the best director after that. So we're gonna do the best supporting actress here, okay? Corey, do you have a problem?
Yeah, I said an actress, and then I specified the movie that she was in, and it was the wrong movie.
I think
But I think you're gonna figure it out.
I probably
think
do.
so.
I'm going to start out by saying Zach just said anybody he didn't list for the best actress or best actor category could be applied to the supporting.
This was to avoid some issues. I re-listened to our last couple of awards shows, and Cole just ignored completely when we had established someone that they would be not considered something. And then he just put them in a different category anyway, which messed up all the voting because it just split them between categories. And yeah, so I just said, we don't want that. We don't want that. So I go ahead and fixed that. And Corey still found a way to put a best actress, Melissa's best actress.
Did I?
Yeah.
Two rough categories in a row.
Wait, did I?
Did. It didn't end up mattering because she wasn't going to win in either category anyway. But you did. Well, we'll get there. So, and yes, Corey, I know what person you're talking about where you listed them for the wrong movie. I know which movie you meant because that person is not even in the movie that you listed them for. So I was able.
Well, I know that's why
I was able to figure out what
she's
you
in.
meant. It's still a
she's in the other
curious
one.
selection. It's still. And this might be where the hold accountableness comes in here for Corey's best supporting actress list.
I think one thing we need to take a look at ourselves in the mirror when we pick movies this year, because.
Yeah, this was a hard one. This was a wake up call. Kind of going through this one.
Yeah.
Us not having Scream movies.
That's fair.
Because Scream movies was like a gold mine for this category in season 1.
Yeah.
So that not having Scream movies hurt a lot here. This was a category.
I say we do Heat as our first movie of next year.
Stop robbing the banks. No. All right. That's Heat, and for 3 hours. It's amazing. It's incredible. So, all right. Our nominees here. Once again, I really didn't put much effort in the nominees. I just have the podium here. And then there's another person there that got some votes, but we were pretty spread apart on this one. So there really wasn't much to be gleaned here for beyond that, because we had very, very different answers for this. Here are the 4 nominees that I have here. We have Kate Hudson for Glass Onion. We have Sigourney Weaver for one of her Avatar performances. Didn't make you guys specify. I'm going to assume you meant like the first one, but we'll see.
I meant Fire and Ash.
Wow, how about that? We have Jamie Lee Curtis, Knives Out, and Rosemary Harris for one of the Spider-Man movies. That's Aunt May. So that's our nominees there. The winner, drum roll. It's Jamie Lee Curtis for Knives Out. Now you guys both had her at your number 1. My number 1 was not listed on either of your lists at all.
Did you follow the
I'm
rules?
excited to talk about it. A little upset about it, actually. I almost thought she was a lock to win the category. And then I saw that you guys didn't list her at all.
I'm assuming Rebecca Ferguson?
No,
she's listed.
No. Rebecca Ferguson's listed in a different category. Yeah.
Can I guess?
How about you read your list, and then you guys can guess on who my number 1 is.
I know who yours is.
Mine
Go ahead,
to start. So I did Jamie Lee Curtis, Knives Out, Rosemary Harris, the first Spider-Man, Sigourney for Avatar, Kerry Washington for Wake Up Dead Man.
She's got some good
Kate
scenes there.
Hudson for Glass Onion, Kaylee Spaney for Wake Up Dead Man, and Toni Collette for Knives Out. Really thinking back on it, there weren't like many performances or movies we picked where like female performers were like.
I know who Zach's is though.
We were.
Yeah, guess,
I technically could have put mine as a nominee because putting them at number 1 got them 7 points, which would have been higher than Kate Hudson's 5 points. That would have put her.
Why didn't you?
I just was because once I saw she was on your list, I just didn't even calculate for her because I saw that that was it. She wasn't going to win. So like that, this was kind of like
I actually
filled it in as I went,
guess.
and then like once I figured out who was clear, I stopped counting, and then I just knew who the pretty much who the nominees were. And once I had podium, I stopped counting. But
so I had Jamie Lee Curtis, Elizabeth Olsen, Sigourney Weaver, Katherine Hahn, Bryce Dallas Howard from Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, I mean, wow, what a performance in that one. What kind of pick is that?
This is the one, Ellen Sandwise. Yeah. Is that how you say her last name? I didn't see her. I was trying to go and make sure that all of them weren't, and I guess, sorry about that. That's okay. And then Kaylee Spaney. My guess for your number 1 is Miss Chaplin.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah.
What the hell? Guys, we just had a whole episode about her talking about how she is easily the best thing in the movie. And Corey thought, but you know what? Bryce Dallas Howard in Spider-Man 3 just really
I was actually having a pretty hard time with this category.
This was a rough one for you.
Well, at least I only had one rough one.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, so I had like 4 that were not listed by you guys at all. So my number 1 was Una Chaplin for Avatar Fire and Ash. My number 2 was Rosemary Harris. That's who I like. That's also that was my sleeper pick for who I thought could win before I looked at your guys' results. Cole listed her for Spider-Man, the first one. I think about that scene in Spider-Man 2 all the time when she is like just doing a garage sale. When she's doing a garage sale and Peter comes to talk to her and she talks about why people need a hero and what a hero is, that scene just gives me chills. It's one of my favorite just non-action scenes in any superhero movie ever. Miranda Otto for her role in the Lord of the Rings films. She's that girl, Corey, that kind of falls in love with Aragorn, but it's not to be because Aragorn's, betrothed to the elf. But I think she's got a lot of good scenes with her father there. Vanessa Kirby, not listed by either of you guys as, the White Widow. I put her there for Dead Reckoning because she has to play like Haley Atwell as herself, as well as just, her normal self. I enjoy that character. Then I had Jamie Lee Curtis at 5, Kate Hudson at 6. And then my number 7 was Betsy Baker, which is Ash's girlfriend in the first Evil Dead. When they get the doll makeup on her, she's really creepy. So that was my 1 through 7. The podium was Jamie Lee Curtis at 17 points. Number 1, Rosemary Harris was number 2, silver medal, 12 points. And then Sigourney Weaver, Avatar, 10 points. So that was our podium for Best Supporting Actress. It was a difficult category.
Podium.
What'd you say?
A worthy podium.
A worthy podium. Yeah.
We're good at that.
Yeah. I'm
if we
shocked
average
at
out
you guys
good.
not putting you in a chaplain. That was a bit of a surprise.
I didn't even think about it. If I'm being honest.
Guess what? For Best Supporting Actor, I again had a number 1 that wasn't on either of your 2 lists. Just makes me question the care you guys put into this sometimes. All right.
Oh my God.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit here.
Corey was ill.
Yeah.
I'm just
It's been a long
stupid.
week.
Yeah. Just take your time. Just take your time next time.
I'm
It's
also
okay.
stupid.
All right.
No, I'm the stupid one.
Okay.
Stupid is as stupid does.
Okay. So our nominees here, we have Willem Dafoe for the first Spider-Man.
Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe. That's who I was thinking of. Chris Evans for Knives Out. That's not Captain America, for Knives Out. This is supporting actor. We have John Candy for Planes, Trains, and Automobiles as a nominee. And Jeff Goldblum for Jurassic Park.
I think that was the one that wasn't on my list.
Well, yeah, the thing is, my winner also would have been tied for a nominee here. But since it didn't make either of your lists, I just didn't bother putting him with the other 5 because, he doesn't matter. He doesn't matter at all. And the winner is for Best Supporting Actor,
I'm interested who it was.
Stephen Lang for Avatar. That's for
I think that one's easy.
yeah, you'd think. Corey, go ahead and read your top 7.
I put Stephen Lang
For
as
which
number
one
1.
specifically would you think? Which Avatar do you like him the best in?
Well, that wasn't a question, was it? I mean, I didn't really. I was kind of just.
Just keep going. Just move on.
No, I think it's Way of Water because we see that first conflict within him, and he's kind of fighting whether or not he is the real Quaritch, and I think that performance kind of paints his performance in Avatar: Fire and Ash. So I think Way of Water is probably my favorite, honestly, and then he feeds off that and builds off it in Fire and Ash. So I had Stephen Lang, Chris Evans in Knives Out, RDJ in Civil War, Jonah Hill in Moneyball, Jeff Goldblum from Jurassic Park, and then Alfred Molina from Spider-Man 2, and John Candy from PTs and A's.
Yep. Cool.
I did Stephen Lang, Avatar, John Candy from
Which one, Cole?
the first one.
Thank you for having that ready.
I just put Avatar. Like that's why. John Candy, P's, T's, and A's. Willem Dafoe, Spider-Man. Alfie Momo for Spider-Man 2. Sean Astin for The Fellowship of the Ring. Chris Evans for Knives Out. And my number 7, I'm surprised Corey didn't have this because he loved how weird he was. Crispin Glover for PTTF. Back to the Future.
Okay.
It's a good pick.
Yeah. Speaking of Back to the Future, my number 1 is Christopher Lloyd. Left off by both of you guys.
Oh,
You guys are great. Guess what? My number 2, not on either of your
Good
lists.
pick, Zach.
Oh, thank you.
Good pick.
Yeah. My number 2, not on either of your lists. But I don't know this. I don't know if I quite expected him to be on your list, but I think when we're talking about just like just incredible performance, Robert Shaw in Jaws as Quint. That's I think just love him in that movie. That monologue about the USS Indianapolis. But couldn't ignore that. Willem Dafoe at number 3 for Spider-Man.
Eyes like a dog's eyes.
Yep. Jeff Goldblum at number 4 for Jurassic Park, of course. And then number 3, one that was not on either of your lists, Viggo Mortensen as Aragorn. Probably specifically for Two Towers or honestly Return of the King. Honestly, he's got a lot to do in that one too. But yeah, he's great. Crispin Glover, I had him there. Cole, I liked that pick. And then my number 7 was Robert Downey Jr. So for Civil War, I also had him there, Corey. So
thank you.
Yep.
I'm surprised I'm the only one who didn't have an MCU pick there.
Yep. I'm surprised by that as well. I can tell you now, the best supporting actress and best supporting actor categories, which was the most frustrating one for me to grade. Just reading your guys' list, that was just...
You're not grading.
I was grading. Believe me, that one felt like grading. That one felt like I was sitting there.
Zach gets into teacher mode, and he's just like...
Here's the thing. When I'm going through all of them, I don't know why... I guess it was more recency bias because I don't know how Christopher Lloyd didn't even get into my mindset. So when you're going through this, Zach, I'm legitimately asking you, when you're going through this, how are you? I don't know. How are you going through it? Basically,
I look at the movie and then I remember the movie. But I read the movie title and I think who's the lead? Oh, Michael J. Fox is Marty McFly. Okay, who's a great male character in that's not him? Oh wait. The Doc Brown. I like Doc Brown,
I guess that's what I was doing as well. Like, okay, what are the female characters? What are the male characters in each of these movies? I don't know why Christopher Lloyd didn't even come into my mind. Crispin Glover didn't even come into my mind. I don't know. I can't do anything
Crispin
about that.
Glover was one that I did almost forget about. He was a late ad for me. Yeah.
So for me, I didn't even consider Christopher Lloyd for the supporting role. I think about when I talked about it on the episode, I refer to them as 1A, 1B. So I consider him a lead in the movie. So it doesn't really occur to me to be supporting actor Christopher Lloyd because I don't
Did you notice he wasn't there on Best Actor and then maybe circle back?
I figured I thought that was weird. I almost texted you hey, why didn't you put him as the lead to text on me. 3?
You thought enough. You didn't. I'm calling BS on that because there's no way. There's no way you were that conscious of it to think about texting me about your confusion and then not realizing that you could go back and list Christopher Lloyd for Best Supporting Actor. There's just no way.
I'm digging a hole here. I'm just going to admit I forgot and move on.
Yeah, that's all we got to do.
Occur to me.
Yep, that's okay. Jonah Hill was close to getting a vote for me, but I could have. Same thing with Richard Dreyfuss from Jaws. But Ian McKellen, actually, that was the hard one for me to cut for Lord of the Rings for Best Supporting Actor. He was right there as well. He's who I replaced RDJ with. All right, moving on to we're gonna take a break from actors. Thank God. We're gonna go to Best Director. We're gonna go to Best Director. It should be fun.
Nice.
And listen to a little Huey and the Blowfish while we wait.
Yes. All right. Our nominees, our top 5 here. Okay. We have Steven Spielberg for Jurassic Park.
I'm not Huey.
We have Steven Spielberg for Jaws.
No, buddy. It's Hootie and the Blowfish.
Do you mind? We have Ryan Johnson for Knives Out. We have Peter Jackson for take your pick of the Lord of the Rings. And last but not least, we have James Cameron for take your pick of whichever Avatar is in your heart of hearts. So are you guys ready to hear the best director?
No.
Yes.
Smartass. All right. The winner with 14 points, Jurassic Park, Steven Spielberg for Jurassic Park.
Stevie
Steve.
That was my vote.
Yep. Corey, why don't you rattle off your top 7 there?
At number 7, I had Back to the Future, any entry. At number 6, I had Knives Out, any entry. At number 5, I was going the wrong way. At number 5, we had Spider-Man with any entry, Sam Raimi. At number 4, I had Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, Christopher McGuire, or to any chapter, or to the final chapter. At number 3, Lord of the Rings, Peter Jackson. At number 2, Avatar, James Cameron, and at number 1, Jurassic Park, Steven Spielberg for sexy Spielberg summer super blockbusters.
Yep. All right. Cool.
Okay, my number 1, I did Ryan Johnson, any entry of the Knives Out. Number 2, James Cameron, Avatar, any entry. Number 3, Steven Spielberg for Jaws. My number 4, Bennett Miller for Moneyball. Number 5, Brad Bird, Ghost Prot. Number 6.
Don't ever say Ghost Prot again.
I liked it. The confidence. I'm just going to go for it. That was great. Never once said it before and never will say it again.
I think I said it on the episode.
There's no way I would have let you get away with that. There's no way. I would have made you like homework. I would have sent you home with a note home that you have to re-record saying the word Ghost Protocol so I could sub that in for you for when you said Ghost Prot. No way.
I was going to say the amount of attention it's getting right now is a key determinate. Like it should give it away that you did not say that before.
I think I'm on number 6. Number 6, Evil Dead, Sam Raimi, but specifically Army of Darkness. And number 7, Bob Zemeckis for Back to the Future.
Yep. My number 1, Steven Spielberg, Jurassic Park. This was, so like I said, this was one of the categories where 2 of us had the same number 1. My number 2 was Steven Spielberg for Jaws. My third one was Peter Jackson for Lord of the Rings. I specifically would have specified Fellowship there. Sam Raimi for Evil Dead was my 4. Sam Raimi for Spider-Man was my 5. Robert Zemeckis for Back to the Future was my 6. And then Christopher McQuarrie for Mission Impossible would have been Fallout, if I had to specify, was my number 7. Sam Raimi actually was he was almost a nominee, but he had equal amounts of votes, 6 points for Evil Dead and 6 points for Spider-Man. So the official podium there was Jurassic Park, number 1. James Cameron, Avatar, got the silver with 12 points, and then Steven Spielberg again for Jaws with the bronze. So that's the 1, 2, 3 there. Moving on to Best Actor. It's a big category here, guys. And guess what? We have a great list of nominees again. Who would have thunk? So our nominees, we have Chris Evans, Captain America, take your pick. Roy Scheider. Did I say Scheider? Is it Scheider or Schneider? I should have known this. This is on me for sure.
Scheider.
I think it is Scheider.
I thought it was Scheider.
I think it is Scheider. We're gonna go with Scheider.
I get a hard time no matter what. So
we're gonna go Roy Scheider for Jaws. Brad Pitt, Moneyball. Michael J. Fox for Back to the Future. And then we had some ties for 7, so not gonna mess with that. All right. Our winner, our Best Actor for our 2025 Load Takers. Daniel Craig, Knives Out. Yeah, I don't remember if I even listed him in nominees. Maybe I forgot to say him, but yeah, he was the winner. But this was the other category that had 13 points for the winner. So we were really spread across the board here. This was not like a dominating win here. So,
well, there was a lot of good entries into this category.
We watch a lot of movies with men, and we like so we have a lot of good categories.
Lead males.
Yeah, we like them, and we talk a lot about them.
Yeah, we talk a lot about them.
Okay. I'll go first here. Just my 1 through 7. Roy Scheider for Jaws was my number 1. Bruce Campbell for Evil Dead was my number 2. Probably specifically Evil Dead 2 there. Brad Pitt for Moneyball was my 3. Tom Cruise for Mission Impossible. I would specifically say Fallout would be my 4. Sam Neill, Jurassic Park, my 5. Michael J. Fox for Back to the Future, my number 6. And Daniel Craig for Knives Out was my 7. So Cole, why don't you read off your top 7 for Best Actor?
Okay. So Daniel Craig, Knives Out. Chris Evans, Captain America. Steve Martin, P's, T's, and A's. Roy Scheider, Jaws. Tom Cruise, any Mission Impossible entry. Sam Worthington, Avatar. And finally, Elijah Wood, Lord of the Rings.
Okay. So here's mine going from 7 to 1.
You don't sound confident.
No, I am confident. I'm actually kind of surprised. And I would like to have a discussion.
Now,
about
Corey,
it.
do you need the definition of lead actor here?
No. I understand. I'm fully capable of understanding this one. I was just kind of surprised by your guys' answers, but we can talk about it. Number 7, Bruce Campbell. Number 6, Tobey Maguire. Number 5, Chris Evans. Number 4, Sam Worthington. Number 3, Daniel Craig. Number 2, Michael J. Fox. And number 1, Brad Pitt for Moneyball. Now, Zach, was Brad Pitt on your list?
He was my number 3.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. Cool. He was not on your list.
He was not.
Okay. So next category then. I was kind of looking for a little bit of an explanation there.
I don't know. I
forgot.
When I'm
picking up a read here.
When I think of Moneyball, I think of the score and the screenplay as, the thing that I associate most with the film. Yes, Brad Pitt's great. But
there's no but. No.
He just didn't make my top 7 for the year. I don't know what it was. He just didn't make it.
Was it perhaps you forgot to think of Moneyball? Was it perhaps
I believe it was, yes.
Okay, we need
Cole,
okay.
How does this happen? What about you have 4 days, take your time. Did you guys not understand when I sent this form out? All right, whatever. The podium was Daniel Craig got the gold. Brad Pitt for Moneyball got the silver, 12 points, so 1 point behind, was pretty close. And then Roy Scheider for Jaws got the bronze with 11 points. Bruce Campbell and Tom Cruise were both tied with 7 points, right behind Michael J. Fox and Chris Evans there. This was a tight category here, very tight. Sam Worthington even got 6 points, so he was around. All right, best actress. We have 2 categories left. Best actress here. All right, and our nominees are Rebecca Ferguson for Take Your Pick of a Mission Impossible. About 5 or 6 are the ones where she's a lead in. Ana de Armas for Knives Out. Leah Thompson for Back to the Future. Zoe Saldana for Avatar. And Laura Dern for Jurassic Park. And Scarlett Johansson for Captain America. She's there too, also tied. And the winner is Zoe Saldana for Avatar. Yeah, this was the dominant victory. She got 20 points. Yeah,
out of a possible 21.
21.
Yeah. Who put her at second place?
I was the outlier because on my number 1 pick, you guys did not make your guys' list at all. So I'll read mine off. My number 1 was Leah Thompson for Back to the Future. She was my best actress. Yep. Go ahead, Corey. What?
Well, no, you know what? And I don't hate it. It's just okay. I feel like when you have I thought we had a lot of other really great performances. Like Zoe Saldana, I thought is really, really good in Avatar. And honestly, my top 3, I thought like we had an entire section, which I guess we did have an entire section about Leah Thompson. But when it comes down to it, like thinking about those movies, I don't necessarily think about Leah Thompson too much. Obviously, I don't think about Christopher Lloyd too much either. So maybe my opinion is muted when it comes to Back to the Future acting skills. I don't know. I feel like these other actresses on my list kind of they stole more of the focus, in my opinion. Okay. And I don't hate Leah Thompson as a pick. It's just I didn't think of that as being a number 1, I guess.
Yeah. It was Leah Thompson was my 1. Zoe Saldana 2, Rebecca Ferguson, Mission Impossible 3, Ana de Armas. I would for Zoe Saldana, I would specify the first one, and for Rebecca Ferguson, I would specify how good she is in Fallout. Ana de Armas, Knives Out. Ellen Sandwise for Evil Dead. That's Ash's sister, Cheryl. Laura Dern for Jurassic Park was my 6, and then rounding out my top 7 was Scarlett Johansson for Captain America. Would say she's pretty darn good in Winter Soldier. So
pretty good.
Cool.
Okay. I did Zoe Saldana, Ana de Armas, Glenn Close for Wake Up Dead Man, Rebecca Ferguson.
Go ahead. Yeah.
ScarJo, Laura Dern.
What order are we going in?
1 to 7.
He's going 1 to 7.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Finally, Haley Atwell.
Cole, it seemed like you paused after you said Glenn Close. Like you paused for abuse. You were giving a window for abuse if we wanted to give you any. You had like a nice little hesitation.
I don't
before
know. I
going
feel
on to
like
your next
you
pick.
guys probably didn't like the performance as much as I did.
No, I liked it. But,
She made my top 7.
I thought she was just so quirky, so fun, and like so. But she also was like she had that moment of endearment at the end. I don't know. I was a big fan of her.
You
performance.
don't be insecure about that pick. It's fine. We like it. I was making fun of how you stopped for us to abuse you about it. That's what I was laughing about, not the pick itself. All right. No. It's okay.
It's
Corey,
a trauma response. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Pauses after picks. See, I keep pushing through. That way, don't give me guys.
Now, Corey, I'm gonna stop you right there.
No.
Zach will hold up the finger. I'm gonna stop you right now.
My 7 through 1. We're gonna go backwards, starting with 7, ending with 1. Number 7, Glenn Close. Number 6, Spider-Man, Kirsten Dunst. Number 5, Scarlett Jo. Number 4, Laura Dern. Number 3, Rebecca Ferguson. Number 2, Ana de Armas. And number 1, Zoe Saldana, of course.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it was obviously, like I said, Zoe Saldana dominant with the gold.
Yeah.
Silver medal goes to Ana de Armas for Jurassic Park, and the bronze was Rebecca Ferguson.
Wait,
for Mission Impossible.
Ana de Armas
for Knives Out. 2? Got the silver. Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Good for Anna.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Thank God we are on the last category, guys.
What? This has been so fun.
Corey and I are having fun.
I think Zach's having fun.
I've had a great time. Yeah. All right. All right. Our nominees for Best Picture are Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, Back to the Future, Jurassic Park, Knives Out, and Moneyball. The Best Picture for 2025 Loadies is La La Land. It's Back to the Future. It's Back to the Future. Back to the Future is the winner. A big winner today, despite one of its leads being completely erased from the memory of two of our hosts. So it was a big winner.
I'm actually kind of surprised this one won this category.
It was not a dominant victory. This was a close one. This was a close one. This is a winner at 14 points, and then there were two tied for 13 just behind it. So it was a nail biter. I was nervous about that. So reading off my 1 through 7, I'm going just from 1 down to 7 really quick. Jurassic Park was my 1. Jaws was my 2. Back to the Future was my 3. Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring was my 4. Evil Dead 2 was my 5. Knives Out is my 6. And Spider-Man 2 was my 7.
Fellowship getting a lot of love today. Love that.
Not me.
I'll go next. Fellowship was my 1. Moneyball 2. Back to the Future 3. Knives Out 4. 5. Avatar. Sorry, scrolling up. 6. Two Towers. And number 7, Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2.
That's the emotional connection of going to. That was the first movie I ever saw in theaters, as I mentioned. So.
My 7 through 1. Number 7, Return of the King. Number 6, Winter Soldier. Number 5, we have Avatar. Number 4, Back to the Future. Number 3, Moneyball. Number 2, Jurassic Park. And my favorite film that we've covered so far this year, my number 1 slot, Knives Out. That's right.
That's right.
Zach, do you have any thoughts?
That's fine. They're all good movies.
They are good movies.
Oh, we're talking about Best Picture here. You know, they're fine.
You know, when I was going over this and looking at them, I think we do need to have a little bit more of a diverse field. It did feel like some of them kind of equated to one another pretty evenly.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that is just what the history of Hollywood has been. You know, there's not
maybe Hollywood needs to look at itself.
Zach,
in the mirror.
maybe you should change Hollywood while you're out there.
Nothing we did wrong. It's not that we did wrong. Hollywood didn't do the job. Nothing we did wrong.
Zach, if I send you a big mirror, can you go to the Hollywood sign and do some performative art?
Okay, hold the mirror up to the Hollywood.
Just walk back and forth for like 10 hours a
We
day.
did that hike. Look at yourself. That hike. It wasn't too bad. Yeah.
No, it wasn't bad.
Right.
We can do that again.
So obviously Back to the Future was the number one winner there. That's the gold. And then tied for the silver medal was Jurassic Park and Knives Out. And then Fellowship and Moneyball were both tied with 11 points behind those. So that was the podium there, crowded podium for Best Picture. Here's Fun with Numbers Part 2, really quick.
Here we go.
When I was keeping track of the podium finishes. Spielberg trilogy, that had the most podium finishes, even without Ready Player One not getting a single one. In fact, the only vote Ready Player One got was for Best Special Effects by Cole. So Jaws and Jurassic Park were cleaning up podium finishes. So
you're saying it was a bad suggestion?
I think so. I've made my thoughts on that very clear.
Watch it.
But don't worry, we'll have time to circle back and correct
We
that.
talked about that when he was home for Christmas break. I'm like, I wanted to do Close Encounters. And Zach said, blame Corey. He picked Ready Player One.
I love Ready Player One.
You didn't on the episode.
It didn't even sound like you loved it when we were talking about moderately enjoyed it.
You can still be critical of something that you like.
Okay. There's always time to do. Spielberg's got enough to do, a whole other trilogy of, Spielberg movies about it,
We could do Spielberg Alien
I was going to say,
before
when Disclosure Day.
Mm-hmm.
When Disclosure Day comes out, we could do
Close Encounters, War of the Worlds. Oh, yeah, E.T.
We could do, Close Encounters, E.T., and then Disclosure Day.
War of the Worlds has got to get in there. Gotta talk about Tom Cruise, War of the Worlds in there somewhere.
I wouldn't be opposed to it.
All right.
And then cover Ice Cube's masterpiece.
He's a deadbeat.
Right. So not counting the Spielberg trilogy, which had 9 podium finishes, which franchise, obviously it's all been said out loud, but which franchise do you think had the most podium finishes out of our 10 categories?
Back to the Future.
Knives Out.
It's a bit of a trick question because it's Avatar, which was helped a lot by all 3 of them finishing podium for best special effects. So, but Stephen Lang got there, and it got there for best director. So yeah, it was prolific enough.
But Una Chaplin didn't. So there's that.
No.
I need to start writing things down for the end of the year.
Knives Out had 6 podium finishes. Back to the Future had 5 podium finishes. Lord of the Rings only had 2 podium finishes, but it was funny to me. It was almost like a cuck situation. It literally was like on the outside of the podium by 1 so many times. Like, it just couldn't quite get onto the podium. It kept getting shoved off. So I thought that was
sit in a chair in the corner, Lord of the Rings.
All right.
That was probably because of me. I refused to vote for it.
Yeah. All right. So a more informal discussion. This one's a little bit more relaxed. What were just some of your favorite scenes? You can look at the list of movies if you want, if you need if you need to think about it. But what were some of your favorite scenes or sequences we talked about this year? I can go first if you want to just.
Are you talking about like in
the movies we talked about? In the movies we talked about, not.
Yeah.
Obviously the arms coming to life in the hospital. Spider-Man 2.
A very good one.
That is an all-timer.
Yeah, I had the Spider-Man 2 train one written down. So a different Spider-Man 2 scene.
I wrote down the Moneyball trade deadline scene. I love that scene. I also wrote down PTs and A's. You're going the wrong way. I love that sequence. I would have know where we're going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would. That guy. I also wrote down Fallout skydiving scene.
Yeah.
The Halo jump.
Really, any of those. There's so many Mission Impossible ones. I kind of was listing them, like the Langley Vault, the Burj Khalifa Tower, obviously. Even in the plane in Final Reckoning. Just.
I have the only parachute.
Well, that part's a little. The dialogue there is kind of late, but just the act of it itself was.
The fact.
That's why you go to the movies, man. That was awesome.
That is cool. Good pick.
Yeah. T-Rex, and then I talked about how
Helm's Deep.
Oh yeah, Helm's Deep. Yeah,
Helm's Deep. Helm's Deep is, I think that's when we started saying the phrase "that is movies" on a regular basis.
Can't remember when time I've ever said that.
Sure.
Okay.
I think the Jaws opening, I was pretty high on that, but specifically with Spielberg, the first T-Rex sequence out there in the rain, that's just that's just a perfect bit of, kind of terror cinema in itself there. And it looks great. And then the last one I wrote here, just to bring it back to Lord of the Rings, just when Aragorn sees that Frodo's sword is glowing, which means orcs are nearby, and he turns around and just takes on like a horde of orcs, man. Just so confident. That was awesome. He's my boy with that one. And then also, of course, the initial Cheryl getting possessed in Evil Dead when she starts doing the cards and then floats, and that's when the movie shifts there, as we talked about. Who's your favorite hero? We talked about who's your favorite hero and who's your favorite villain?
I wrote down Marty McFly as my favorite hero.
Yeah.
Marty's the villain.
What?
Nothing.
He is not the villain. Most charismatic. I don't know if you were going because we did cover some superhero movies, and I think Tom Cruise is more of like, or the Mission Impossible movies fit more into that. So I wasn't sure if you were going that way. I kind of took it as like antagonist, protagonist, and I think he is my favorite. Most charismatic, most interesting to watch. He's like clumsily good at everything, and it's just really entertaining.
Yep. I wrote Ash Williams just because, to reiterate my main point there, he is a character who I love to see succeed as much as I love to see fail. Either outcome for him is highly entertaining to me. When he's cocky and he wins, it's a lot of fun, and when he just messes it all up because he's a loser is also really fun. So I'm big fan of both outcomes for Ash Williams. Bruce Campbell is Ash, and then Corey, did you say your favorite villain? I don't remember already.
No, I was kind of having an issue with this, but I was thinking of it in terms of like who's the most interesting that has. I wrote down Zemo from Civil War.
It's a good sleeper pick there.
Yeah.
No.
I was trying to think back, and I was going through all the movies. You know how you said like that's how you pick your favorite characters from
just by remembering the movie when I see the name of it. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought about Stephen Lang as one, but I wanted to talk about someone we haven't a little bit. And this isn't one that I figured wasn't going to get a vote. And I didn't even really think of him when going through this. So that's why I put Zemo down as a very interesting villain who probably didn't get as much attention during the awards. And that ended up being true.
Oh, poor guy. I wrote Green Goblin, but we've talked about him enough. Willem Dafoe. Go ahead, Cole.
Willem.
Me. Favorite hero, obviously, Tobey Maguire, Peter Parker, or a close tie between him and Steve Rogers, Chris Evans, Captain America. Yeah. Steve Rogers is like the definition of a hero if there ever was one. I feel like just a guy who does the right thing. That's really what being a hero is. And then villains, Alfred Molina's Doc Ock, and then Chris Evans, Hugh Ransom Drysdale.
Yeah. I had
the It Sheet sequence is probably one of the Eat Shit sequence. Eat Shit.
I heard It Sheet the first time.
I wasn't sure what you said either.
Okay. You know what? Eat shit. Yeah. Eat shit. Eat shit.
So Chris Evans made both lists for you.
Yeah. He's a guy with range.
Yeah. Bryce Dallas Howard as Gwen Stacy from Spider-Man 3 almost made it for me. Just she's just such a screen presence there.
I see so many posts on Instagram where it's like, what was Peter thinking going for Mary Jane?
Yeah, I get those as well. That came across my desk as well. Let's see, what was the other question? Oh, here's a fun question. Okay. Of the franchises that we covered this year, which potential, and it doesn't even have to be one that's announced, because in terms of ones that are like announced, we know there's a new Evil Dead movie coming out this year. We know there's a new Lord of the Rings movie coming out in the next couple of years. We're feeling pretty good. There'll be Avatar 4. Like those are very likely like new entries in series that we've talked about this year, but it doesn't even have to be one of those. What if they announced right now a follow-up to this is coming out this year? Which one are you most excited for? And I can answer that with this is Fantasyland, not going to happen. But if, again, I think we talked about this on the episode. If they said, hey, Spider-Man 4, Sam Raimi, Tobey Maguire is happening, that's probably the one that would get me the most.
Yeah.
So
I can agree with you there. If they said, Toby's coming back, we're finally getting Felicia Hardy Anne Hathaway as Felicia Hardy. The cast they announced all the way back when. Yeah, I'm seeing that movie immediately.
This one was hard because a lot of the series that we covered have come to an end. Like Evil Dead, the third one kind of was the wrapping up of the story. Even though, as you said, there's a movie announced that's coming out. Avatar, there's another one coming out. Even though it didn't wrap up the story, I don't know. It was kind of difficult. And with Knives Out, I feel like we're kind of petering out a little bit. Just a tiny little bit where I'm getting less and less excited for the sequels, but I still will see them. I wrote down Avatar as the number one. I wrote down a fourth Spider-Man, but I also wrote down Captain America, the next Captain America. I'd be interested in seeing. I don't know if I'm very excited. I was trying to write down a few different examples of ones that haven't completely finished either, because if Lord of the Rings, I don't know if I don't think I fit into the target audience for that. I don't know why. Mission Impossible. Would I be excited to see another one? Yes, but the story's over. You know, the story kind of wrapped up. And so I was like, if they announced another one, I don't know if I'd be super excited for it. But with Captain America, I think I would be interested to see where they go, because I think they're very receptive to how audiences respond to things. Yeah. And I would just be interested to see what kind of changes they make. I don't know if I'd see it in theaters like I would Spider-Man 4 or Avatar, but that one I'd be like, oh, okay, let's see what they do with this one. Because right now it feels like they might just close the book on doing movies with that.
Yeah. How about may I interest you in a spinoff Moneyball 2 with I don't know, who do you want to cast as John Mozeliak?
St. Louis Cardinals. Yeah.
You got to cover the offseason when John Mozeliak's like, how do I fix this team? And he's like, you know what? Michael Hellman and Phil Maton. And that's what he did. That's all he did. Let's
save that for our Sandlot episode, boys.
Yeah.
I'd also be interested in a Back to the Future Part 4, possibly.
I don't know if that would. That might ruin the dream there.
The fact that Bob Gale wrote the end on the final movie, I am okay with the book being closed and it never being opened again for Back to the Future.
I'm looking forward to Evil Dead Burn, but at this point, like the previous two movies, it really doesn't have anything to do with those original three. I mean, it's just same universe, still dealing with the Necronomicon, but it's not like an Ash thing. If they announced a Sam Raimi Ash Evil Dead movie, like kind of a follow up to Ash vs. Evil Dead,
aren't they doing an animated series?
They are, but and I'm looking forward to that. But if they announce like an actual Evil Dead movie with Bruce Campbell as Ash live action, like that would probably be my answer. That or if you're noticing a theme, that and Spider-Man 4, either any Raimi number 4 would get me. New Raimi movie coming out later this month. Looking forward to that. Send help. What do you think? Whether it was the most fun you had? Let's just look at it that way. What the most fun you had? What was your favorite franchise to cover this year?
Knives Out. I think that you could feel a genuine joy when we talked about those movies and the little intricacies that went into Daniel Craig's performance, the screenplay, the way the set was dressed. I mean, I think as a group, that and probably the Spider-Man trilogy,
that was my answer,
were the ones
Spider-Man
we might have had the most fun doing. There were others that near the end, not going to say, but they kind of felt like we were just finishing them out of obligation. Sorry, Captain America.
Oh. It's like, the hell are you talking about?
Well, we did that one because the new one was coming out.
Yeah.
We had fun making fun of that last one. That was not a bad time. We didn't spend too much time on it, but yeah, that was fine.
I need to rewatch it.
No,
I've decided that's one of the MCU ones that can stay in the vault.
Doesn't need to be rewatched. I wrote down the Spielberg Sexy Summer as my favorite one that we covered.
Sexy Summer was
I wasn't sure if that counted, so I also wrote down Mission Impossible, because I had a lot of fun talking about all the different stunts and all the stuff that went into them, because I think each one had a very unique, I don't know, big event, and it was fun kind of, oh, did you know this happened with this? And he broke his lip. I don't know. I had fun talking about that one. It did get a little tiresome towards the end. But.
Yeah, I think that's why I did put it, is because that was just a lot of them. So by the end, I think by Final Reckoning, both in the movie and talking about it, I was ready to move on by the end of that. But the Spielberg trilogy was a lot of fun, particularly Jurassic Park and Jaws, because obviously I love those movies. But that's also why it almost kind of stressed me out, because I was like, these are literally two of these are in my letterbox top 4 ever. Jaws and Jurassic Park are both there. So there was a bit of, again, this is pretty low stakes what we're doing. We're just 3 friends talking about movies on a podcast that some people listen to. So it doesn't really matter that much, but like I was putting pressure. It was like a lot of like, I don't know when I'm going to have a chance to put all my thoughts on Jurassic Park and Jaws out there again. So I don't want to mess it up, and I don't want to forget something. I don't want to leave a stone unturned. Like I was like, I want to be articulate. It was just so, that's why that wasn't maybe my favorite, even though I loved talking about them. But like, that was just, I was intimidated by it almost. So Spider-Man was like, the Raimi Spider-Man was like the perfect mix of, I really love these movies. These are a lot of fun. I'm not as precious about them, to where like, this has to be the best episode we've done type of thing.
I will say, as much fun as I had talking about them, Lord of the Rings was also
feels
one
like
that I felt like
years ago
was a little hard for us, because I don't think Corey's as big a fan as Zach and I are. So when
Where'd you get that idea?
Yeah.
Just genuine reaction to things. But when we're all not like a huge fan, Evil Dead was really fun, because Zach and I knew it was going to be Corey's first time watching all 3. So seeing his reaction as those went on,
that was fun.
That was a lot of fun. Knowing that one of us like isn't really like all in on a franchise, I think hinders our communication experience during this. But that being said, I mean, I had a lot of fun covering Lord of the Rings.
I even wrote that down. Lord of the Rings, overall best franchise we covered.
Yeah, that was nice. I did enjoy that. So we can kind of transition off of movies that we covered and just talk about 2025 in general. We can make this a quick thing. I watched, or I should say I saw 58 new movies last year that came out in 2025. So that's how I spend a lot. That's my cheap way to go out, because I do the AMC premiere thing. So it's like, I can just go see a free movie. I can get out of my apartment, and I'm spending $9 today just to get a Diet Coke, So that's like a big old Diet Coke on the rocks. DC on the rocks for me, please. Did it a lot. So
I like that.
I have
give me a DC on the rocks, please.
Yeah. I have a top 10 here, of movies. If you guys would like to hear them,
go ahead.
I'd love to hear.
I will tell you my bottom.
I'm gonna guess number 1.
Well, how about you wait a second?
One battle after another.
Okay.
I'm just gonna
just step right on that. My number 58, my bottom movie was Brave New World, so that was there. My top 10 from 10 down to 1. 10 was Caught Stealing, the Austin Butler movie. Enjoyed that a lot. Number 9, 28 Years Later. 8, Hamnet. 7, Sinners. 6, The Long Walk. 5, Weapons. 4, Sorry Baby. 3, K-pop Demon Hunters. Big ol' fan. And then 1 and 2, I am flip-flopping between, but Marty Supreme and One Battle After Another. But as of now, I still have it as One Battle After Another. But man, Marty Supreme might. It's sitting very well with me. Anytime I hear
sitting very well,
with no spoilers, but anytime I hear like everybody wants to rule the world now, it's just like, oh God, that's a good ass movie. Because I have that's a needle drop in the movie at some point, Corey.
I should note, I still need to see both of those.
You haven't seen One Battle After Another?
I have not.
It's on Max now.
Yeah. I started watching it one night, was really getting into it, and then my roommate texted and he goes, dude, I need you to come pick me up. I'm like, fuck. So I went and picked him up, and that kind of ruined the flow of the movie for me, and I haven't.
It's like you live in a frat house.
And then like in terms of just really quick favorite performances of the year, like I think Jessie Buckley was probably my pick for Best Actress for Hamnet. She's incredible in that, but also Eva Victor and Sorry Baby's great. And then my lead actor is probably like the 2 people who are going to be the favorites for lead actor this year, between Leo in One Battle and Timothée in Marty Supreme.
Timothée.
Obviously, Michael B. Jordan as dual roles in Sinners is great too, so he's right there. But those are my favorites for the year there. Corey?
Yeah, this is number 5. I saw 6 movies this year, and the 6th one was Brave New World. So these are my top 5 movies that I saw this year. I'm just kidding. I saw more than that. I did not see 58, but it was more than that.
Closer to 5.8.
At number 5, what?
I said you saw closer to 5.8 than 58, but
yeah, because you saw 6.
Because you had 6.
Yeah, I saw 6. Yeah,
that was good.
I saw more than 6.
Zach's really big into numbers. That was his New Year's resolution. Get big into numbers.
My New Year's resolution: stretching. Anyway, here's my number 5.
I did that too. I was thinking about that. Yeah,
stretching every day. Here are 5 to 1. Number 5, Warfare. Number 4, K-pop Demon Hunters. Good. Number 3, F1. Number 2, Sinners, and number 1, One Battle After Another. I really like Sinners. Sinners actually.
Sinners was in my top 10.
Top
I haven't seen Weapons. It's been on my list to see, and I was going to watch it.
Streaming.
I know. I was going to watch it New Year's Eve with a friend of the pod, Kevin. He was really excited about it.
I love Kevin.
And then we just both, it just slipped our mind. We got too sleepy at 3 a.m. and we went to sleep. So we did not
it's a good
watch
3 a.m. movie.
I just don't know. But I will be watching it. So maybe retroactively 2025 rankings will be moved. But I do want to see that. It's full disclosure. I haven't seen it though. Along with a lot of other movies in 2025 I did not see. Yeah.
I recommend Sorry Baby pretty heavily though. Corey. I would. Okay. I think that's on Max. That was my top. That was my number 4. I really like Sorry Baby.
Yeah. Top performances. I tried to include movies I did not list as my number 5 because these are also movies I really liked this year. So I did see more than 6. But these were movies I really did like this year that didn't make my top 5. But I wrote down George Clooney and Jay Kelly. He is so good in that one. Highly recommend Jay Kelly. I highly recommend all the movies I mentioned. Molly Gordon in Oh Hi. She is very funny and also very scary in that movie. You can't quite tell Molly where her head's at. And I think that's part of the reason I really like that movie. And that it's really good. But she is really, really great. But apparently she had a hand in like producing and making it. Maybe I wasn't sure if writing or directing.
Corey, have you seen Theater Camp by chance? No. She wrote and directed Theater Camp.
Maybe she did write and direct Oh Hi. Because I think I saw that she had a pretty heavy hand in that one. So maybe.
Co-wrote and starred.
She co-wrote. Okay. I wrote down Jacob Elordi as Frankenstein. I just listened to a interview with him talking about it. It was very interesting. So, and then Tom Cruise, I just wrote down because Mission Impossible ended this year. And I think overall he deserves a shout out. And how old is he?
60 something.
Like 61.
60 something. And hanging off a plane that's flying in the middle of the air. That is incredible. Great performance. 10 out of 10.
Okay. Top 5. F1 is my number 5. Superman. It's no secret. I was a huge fan of James Gunn's Superman. Number 3, Sinners. Number 2, Weapons. And number 1, Wake Up Dead Man. I was actually not a huge Josh O'Connor fan until I saw Wake Up Dead Man, and then I was like, "Wow, this guy's awesome." I should probably
for Disclosure Day.
I should probably watch The Crown. That's what I thought.
He kind of sucks in The Crown. Not as like an actor. He's still a good actor. I kind of hate his character in The Crown, though.
So you hate the real life person?
That's fine. I don't know. He kind of sucks, you know? He just kind of sucks.
I mean, and then
the entire time he's just saying, I don't want Princess Diana. I don't care that she really likes me. And he's just crying. And I'm like, dude, oh my God.
But favorite performances, obviously Michael B. Jordan in Sinners. That was one of my favorites of the year. I don't think he's going to win Best Actor, but I think he should definitely be nominated. The dual roles were great.
Best dual roles on Mount Rushmore. Best dual roles. Go.
Michael B. Jordan
Recency bias. Keep going.
Lindsay Lohan, Parent Trap.
Lindsay Lohan in Parent Trap. Yeah.
Probably the Abe Lincoln of that one. Am I right?
I'd say that's George, baby.
Maybe.
Who is it?
That's a great question. I feel like I'm missing big ones because there's like
there's one where Nick Cage plays like Charlie Kaufman and his fake like brother. In like
Jack Nicholson in Mars Attacks as a sleeper. He's got 2 different roles on that one.
But when for supporting actress Amy Madigan as Aunt Gladys in Weapons.
Nutty Professor.
Miles Canton in Weapons or
Prestige.
in Sinners. I was a really big fan of both Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor and Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane. I thought Rachel Brosnahan's Lois Lane is like why we love Lois Lane as a character, because she's just as important to the story as Superman. And I think the fact that you finally have a writer and director like James Gunn who realizes that is really important. But yeah, sorry, those were kind of boilerplate. But also just special shout out to The Accountant 2. I was a really big fan of John Bernthal and Ben Affleck's buddy cop performance in that. I thought the whole buddy comedy thing was played up really well in that, and their relationship was really good.
I didn't catch that one. I did think of another good dual performance when you were talking about Superman. I remembered that Superman was in Pearl, and then that Pearl made me think of X, Mia Goth and X as Pearl and as Maxine.
Okay, on to the post-credit scene.
You're still here. It's over. Go home.
Guys, we got a weird one next. We got a first to start off our season 4. Our season 4 first episode is a weird thing we've never done before. And we're getting in right when the iron's hot, a month after it's done. And people are tired of talking about it.
Well, guess what, Twitter? We're not tired of talking about it.
We're gonna make sure we're gonna poke the bear and we're gonna get people talking again. Stranger Things 5. We're just going to talk about the season in general. Not like, just the finale, but I'm sure we'll talk a lot about it. I haven't watched it yet. Full disclosure. I've only watched the first 3, but I'll have it done.
Full disclosure, that is also why we have not covered it yet.
Zach's been busy. As have we all with the holidays. I mean, hasn't really had a chance to sit down and watch it.
It's a lot going on. When I come home for 2 weeks, and I have to spend all this time with my girlfriend, and she does not care about the show.
Didn't realize it was a chore.
Well, no, it's. I'm not going to make her sit there and watch Stranger Things if she does.
She doesn't like Stranger Things.
She doesn't care. She's out on it. She's not watching any of it. So it just didn't really have a window. And then I got back, and just things have been going on. But I started it on the plane ride back to California, and I will watch more as we go here.
Okay. Let's do what we do at the end of every episode. And Cole, why don't you give out your full address? Then we can sign off.
I don't actually know my address. I just moved.
No, I'm excited for Stranger Things. Even though we're covering it kind of late, I think this is a good time because kind of the dust can settle. We could talk about the aftermath.
Yeah.
We could talk about the aftermath because I think that has a lot to do with the overall, like, how it was received. And I want to talk about
what's its legacy.
Sitting in like the finale is better than like talking about it right after, because when you talk about something right after, those initial thoughts, they change over time.
You'll say things you regret. You might say something in the heat of the moment.
All the time.
Yeah. Those other podcasters are wrong. We're doing it right by waiting.
No one cares anymore.
We're trying to time it with the making of documentary.
And there you go. That's what we're doing.
No.
And then
I think it comes out tomorrow.
Other things we have to look forward to. I mean, we talked about we might do some more Steven Spielberg. Another Steven Spielberg trilogy, maybe a 4-movie set this season. I don't know.
I'd love to cover some Harry Potter this year.
That's kind of the big one we've been dancing around. I mean, that's the thing where we would have to rattle them off like we did Mission Impossible. Yeah, why'd you do that? That was a bad call. Yeah.
Why?
There was a never watch a franchise again that we aren't covering. Okay, just
What?
don't watch a franchise again that we could cover. Don't just decide to do that. Ask us first.
Yeah, but okay, so after we watch a franchise, it's like I don't want to go back and watch it because I watched it and talked about it so much where I'm like, oh, I need like a 3-year buffer. So like the
Oh my
movies we watched in
God.
season 1, I'm like, okay, now I can go back and watch those. Maybe.
God, we've
But,
been
like-
doing this for 3 years.
For more than that.
I mean, there are
Before that.
big franchises that we still have here in season 4. I mean that we could talk.
You know-
We haven't talked about. We talked about Creed, but we haven't talked about the Rockies. That would be a big one for Cole.
Most podcasts take off in year 5, so we have one more year before we make it big.
Harry Potter is a big one. I'm just gonna go ahead and say Fast and Furious is the one that just no. Just
I'm okay. I'm okay waiting
Here's the other thing
till they
I was
finally
thinking.
make that last one, and then we can talking about it.
No. Here's the other thing. We can also just cover movies that are a part of a franchise, and we don't have to cover the entire franchise. And
We
can
did
talk
that
about
with
it.
We've already been
Mummy.
doing that. We've already been doing that.
I know, but if we don't want to cover all the Harry Potter movies and we want to cover, for example, Prisoner of Azkaban, which I have not watched in my rewatch because I wanted to end with it, we
What?
could do that.
God,
I
you're
started
sick in the
I
head.
started with so this is what I did. I did 4, 5, 7, 6, 8, 1, 2, and now I'm gonna finish 3. Why I did that, I don't know.
This guy. We also, we have never talked about a single Batman. Those are still hovering out there. We have Toy Stories.
Batman Part 2.
Toy Story 5 is coming out this year. Toy Story 5
was
comes
gonna
out
say-
this year. That seems like an obvious one. We'll get to the Toy Stories.
Toy Stories.
There are another Evil Dead movie coming out this year. That'll be, we could do the other 3 Evil Deads, the non-Bruce Campbell Evil Deads, which are very different. There is 3 Friday the 13th in 2026. Yeah.
Coming out. Or
No, like literally
days.
the day. We could have fun with that. We can get creative with that. There are 3 of them interspersed. One of which is next month, and then the next one is actually March, and then the next one's November. So there's a big gap, but there are 3
actually
Friday the
like
13th.
covering a Friday the 13th and releasing it on Friday the 13th.
Yeah, isn't that fun?
We should
Yeah.
do that actually.
The first one's easy to figure out which one to do. We can just do the original. After that, given that there's only 2 other ones, we'll have to figure out what makes
Pick and
sense.
choose.
Which one?
Pick and choose. Pick and choose.
Pikachu.
Well-
that is correct.
So there's a lot to look forward to in this season, or this upcoming season. This is the end of season 3.
yeah.
If you have stuck with us for the entirety of our 3-season run, thank you so much. If you're sticking with us now, moving forward, thank you even more. Please subscribe to us on YouTube. Please follow us on Spotify and Apple Music and all our Apple Podcasts, whatever they call it.
Instagram, TikTok.
Yeah, just keep up with us on there. Cole makes a lot of the fun videos that you see, so go give him some love, go comment, and we'll try to make it a little bit more interactive in what you guys want to see. So let us know. We know a lot of people that we know and love listen to this podcast, so please text us. We would love for you guys to be a part of it.
Mostly people we know and love. It's mostly them.
Well, we also have 120 subscribers on YouTube, and I don't know any of them, honestly.
probably do.
I mean.
One's my
No, I don't.
roommate.
I've looked and I really don't. But like we love having you guys on. So if you're a listener and you want to be on, I know my sister listens, and I told her many times she wants us to cover the Princess Diaries.
I could do it. I could cover those.
Kind of hate women as a thing. So
Zach,
And we'll end season 3 with that comment right there. So thank you for getting a load of this podcast, and thank you for getting a load of all the movies with us. Until our next episode when we cover Stranger Things 5, just keep watching movies. I'm leaving it in.